On behalf of the Putnam County Playhouse, this is Jack Randall Earls, the man in the chair. And today we're getting to know board member Caroline Good. Hi, Caroline. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Jack. It's great to be here. Oh,
You know, isn't it lovely? You know, you've worked at the Putnam County Playhouse for many seasons, been a member of the board of directors for many seasons. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that. What was your first production at the Putnam County Playhouse, and how did you get involved in that?
Well, I auditioned for Sound of Music. That was my first one. I was going to audition for South Pacific, but I got pregnant, so I kind of took that out of the running. But yeah, I played the Baroness in The Sound of Music. It was great fun working with Dan Stockton, and Ernie Ford was directing that.
Ernie Ford. So you got to sing No Way to Stop It.
Yes.
And her other song, How Can Love Survive?
Yeah.
Which people who only know the movie don't know those songs.
Right.
Yes, I remember that. You had nice long gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the first time that we met. I enjoyed that show very much. Ernie did a very, very nice job. And was that Amy and Andrew Hayes as the captain and Maria? Yes, that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Now, you and your husband, Tim, both participate here at the Putnam County Playhouse, but you're both also at DePaul University. Can you tell us a little bit about what you both do over there at the university?
Well, we both teach in theater. Tim teaches a little bit more in the communications department as well. It's a joint department, communications and theater. I'm mostly on the theater side. I usually teach acting, directing. I direct once a year, every few years, and teach voice and movement. Those are my go-to classes. I love teaching acting and voice and movement as well. You see a wide range of students with various majors. You watch them grow from the very beginning. They're shy, they're a little awkward, and by the end of the semester they're blossomed and they've found all these little characters living inside of them that they didn't know existed that come out. So yeah.
Very, very, very interesting. Now, you are the creator of Shakespeare, the youth theater workshop that's been going on for several seasons here at the Putnam County Playhouse. How did you get that started, and how have you seen it grow?
Well, I had this crazy idea back in, it was 2006, I think. We did our first Shakespeare anything. I called it Shakespeareans, and we had a younger group, which was grade school, and then a junior high group as the older group then. And then in the middle, between when the groups would overlap a little bit, we'd have this little immersion time where we would have, like my husband Tim played Shakespeare, and the kids got to shake Shakespeare's hand, and we had the boatman row them across, the apple cellar, and give them a little history, a little art, a little dance. Deb Grammel came in and did a little Elizabethan dance with them. And that's kind of how it started. And then I thought, well, there wasn't really anything much for the high school kids. They had the plays at the high school. They were often too young to be in the main stage productions out here, so I wanted to kind of give them something as well. So then the next year we did Romeo and Juliet, and we had a middle school group who did the traditional version, traditional costumes and all that. And then we did this spoofy, crazy, wacky version for the high school students. And that was 2007, so we've been going for 13 years now.
It's always very popular. You sell out the house, people trying to get in to see it, and it's always a wonderful experience for the participants, and I think probably for those people who conduct it as well.
Yeah, Eleanor Howard and Beth Bax have been with me. Elisa Isaacs Bailey has been a director. Tim, my husband's been a director too. So yeah, can't do it alone.
And
Takes
TJ
a village.
Tincher?
And TJ, oh yeah, definitely. He was right there too.
Yes. Now, Caroline, you and Tim have appeared together, sort of the Lantern Fontaine of the Putnam County Playhouse. Do you have a particular play that you've done here together on stage that's a favorite for you?
Yeah, I think it's a tie between Blythe Spirit, where I play his dead wife, trying to kill him so we can be together. It's not his favorite though. He had so many lines. That's all he was, trying to just keep up with.
Yes.
But that was my favorite. And then Games of Foot was a blast too.
Yes.
Yeah. We
Destin
played.
Bond
And Dustin
directed
Bond, yep.
Games of Foot. Yes, that was very nice. We had some nice costumes and a mystery play. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I also enjoyed you and Tim very much in Angel Street.
Oh,
That was,
yeah, you directed that.
Yes, I did. That was a very, very nice play. The movie Gaslight
Yes.
is based on that original play, and I know that was a favorite of our audiences too.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and TJ and Ashley Vitz
Yeah.
was the cast in that, and Eleanor Howard. That was a lovely show to do and a lovely show to see. Linda did a great set. Linda Jesvold did a great set too. Now, you are both a director and an actor, and you talked a little bit about it, but do you follow a particular acting philosophy or teaching method when you teach at your acting classes?
Yes, I kind of developed my own take on Stanislavski. I've also drawn from Sanford Meisner. He was one of the group theater people back in the day, and he focused a lot on what he called what Stanislavski called communion, and it's really working that give and take, that flow of energy between two people, kind of like we're doing right now. You really have to connect with the other person. So I work a lot with relationship and that, and trying to get away from, students usually come in thinking it's all about what am I feeling, what's my emotion, but trying to get them to that next step. Well, out of that emotion, what do you do? What do you do? The reality of doing is something that Meisner talked a lot about. So I try to get the students to think more about doing and what their actions are and how they're affecting the other person rather than how they're feeling, because that kind of draws all their energy in. So yeah, so I've been working on that, and I've developed a process, and I've written a course packet that my students use, drawing from a lot of different, Viola Spolin for improv. So I've drawn from a lot of different techniques, and it seems to be working pretty well.
Yes. Well, I was directed by both you and Tim, and I tell you, it's a joy to work with both of you. Tim did a wonderful job with Little Women here, the Little Women the musical.
Yeah.
I loved what he did with that production. And of course, I was in Annie that you directed here. And
yeah.
that was a big sellout hit show with a wonderful cast.
Very dear.
Megan Armitage and Andrew Rank
Yeah.
and Shelley McFadden and
Anne-Marie Allen
Yes.
was our
Yes.
Annie that
and
just,
she was just a doll. And of course everybody in that
and of course
play was
Rick.
great.
Rick was a great
And Rick
Daddy
was a
Warbuck.
great Daddy
He was a little
Warbuck.
mad at me for not letting him shave his head, but
Well,
he got over it.
you know, actors. What are you gonna do? Can't live with him, can't live without him. Now, do you have a humorous anecdote about something that's happened here on stage or backstage, one that you can share with us?
Okay. Well, can I share two little ones?
Of course.
Okay. Well, one of my very fondest memories when we were doing Clue, and the women in the show and the men in the show were having a rivalry in the dressing of which group could cram the most furniture and props into their dressing room to make it like a little living room or a little, boudoir. And then there was the Knight of Armor that you guys kept. We'd put it in our dressing room, and then we'd come the next night for call time, and it was disappeared. It was in the men's, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah. And then I think the other one is when Tim and I were in Games of Foot, and Madge is supposed to slap, was it George? Was that his name?
Yes.
The character, the character
yes.
Tim was playing, and we were downstage right, and I tried to do the fake slap, and we tried it from all these different angles, and it just wasn't going to work. I had to slap him. So we had to rehearse a lot, and by the end of rehearsal, his face was really red.
Those are the scenes that you always have to rehearse a lot. I remember. Well, Caroline, to close, when you reach theater heaven, what do you hope the director will say to you?
Oh, I hope he says that you've been good to your fellow actors and worked with them, collaborated with them, and well done.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you, Caroline Good, for talking to us today. On behalf of the Putnam County Playhouse, this is Jack Randall Earls, the man in the chair. And I hope we see you again real soon.